Hello again, I am Blunty here in MSI's shooting studio where they usually do photographs and such for their product shots, so not ideal for video, and I forgot to bring my lapel mic, so the audio is going to be a little bit echoey, but we're going to push ahead anyway. Unboxing and checking out the Infinite A in an official capacity now. I talked about it at Computex when it was announced, had a bit of a look at it, I gave one away already, but now it's time to take a proper look at it from box to product. This is the box it comes in. I've taken the liberty of removing it from this big, ugly, grey box. Grey? Beige? What colour is it? It's cardboard coloured. Because, frankly, getting this out of that on top of this table is a bit of a PITA. Damn it! Oh, alright. I may have just unplugged one of the video lights then when I put the box down. Pushing on. So, the good thing about getting this computer out of this box as opposed to any other computer out of any other box, by the way, is that handle that we talked about before. You can lift it directly out of the box. Have you ever tried lifting a desktop computer out of its box, trying to dig around in there, trying to get a purchase on it? The handle alone on this thing is worth it just for that. It even comes with a little cutout in the sort of dust cover thingy packing material they give you here, so you can actually grab the handle. Thoughtful stuff. This comes in several, I'm going to throw it this way this time so I don't hit the power cable. This comes in several configurations, from i5, i7, GTX 1060, all the way through up to the 1080 Ti. But the thing with the Ti is, because the Gaming X Series Ti, like the red ones here, if I can pull off the glass here, I'll show you, but the Ti version is very, very large because it's a very monstrous graphics card. So, if you get the Ti version of this, you get the Armor version of the 1080 Ti. So it looks slightly different, but still going to give you heaps of power. RAM available all the way from 8GB all the way through to 64. Brutal. So there we go, you can see inside. I've talked about this before, I'm going to talk about it again. The thing I love most about this particular off-the-shelf gaming PC as opposed to any other off-the-shelf gaming PC is the ease of which you can get at the components to upgrade. The video card there, you can pull it straight out, you can get to it. Memory, you can get to it. CPU, you can get to it. Everything is really nicely laid out. So when it does come time to upgrade, it's a zero fuss issue. You can even replace everything in here all at once if you wanted to. Just do a full complete system upgrade, 5 years down the track when it's just time to move along to whatever's new and shiny then. You can still do that because the case, fully standard, power supply, fully standard, all the cooling, fully standard, and this has separate cooling chambers for the motherboard component, power supply component, and the graphics card component. So the cooling system they use, well, the way they describe it in their marketing for the separate chambers, is the silent storm. Now, the reason they use separately cooled chambers is not just because it's more efficient, it's because it keeps it quieter. If the cooling only has to worry about sort of one part at a time, so the graphics card's doing its own thing, the power supply's doing its own thing, the motherboard's doing its own thing, that means you can run the fans that control the temperature in those chambers at slower speeds because you're not accumulating all the heat from all the components all at once. And in the box, you get this in, if you're not a fan of the glass panel, say you're having the PC sit next to your desk and the glass panel's not going to do you any good, or you have small children or clumsy pets and you're worried about the glass panel issue, they actually give you a metal side panel as well, which has vents right here for the graphics card to breathe, so you get both options. And I talked to the marketing crew about this. They give you both options in the box instead of selling you each separately because they're really not sure which ones you guys prefer. So you should shout out in Twitter, on Facebook, all that kind of stuff, and tell them which one you prefer, because that will sort of guide them into what they do next. Another thing of note with the Infinite A, and in fact all of MSI's current desktop lines, is it's got the VR link on the front here. So you get a USB, which is a special low latency USB, so you get the absolute fastest signal possible, and HDMI out, because HDMI is what all the VR headsets use. So you can get at your VR system, you can unplug your VR headset without having to dig around behind the computer. That is something else I love about MSI's all-over design aesthetic as far as these things go. I don't have this plugged in at the moment, but I've shown you video of it before. That panel right there has a sort of circuitry angled sort of Tron-like design on it. RGB lights all behind that. There's about a dozen different patterns you can use. You can set it to any single color you like, throb or your blink or cycle round. All the insides RGB as well, all controlled through MSI's Mystic LightSync. So the CPU fan cooler there lights up. You've got LED lights all around through the inside as well. It looks spectacular. when it's powered on. Coming back to that vertical gaming card here at the moment, that's not just a style choice, although for me, personally speaking, it's a style choice. You guys have seen my custom-built PC, vertical graphics card. Love it to bits because it's just nicer to show off your fancy graphics card if you can face the fans forward. I mean, what's the point of having cool-looking coolers like this with little dragon claw slash marks that light up and everything if you can't really show it off? But it's not just about showing it off. One of the main reasons they've designed it like this is for shipping. Graphics cards are getting bigger, heavier, they're getting more aggressive, more powerful. The coolers have to be bigger. There has to be larger heat sinks, bigger fans, and all that sort of stuff. If you've got a graphics card sitting horizontally on a motherboard like that, if you think about when it's shipping, all that wobble, it can potentially cause wear and tear on the PCI slot, all that kind of thing. That's why when you buy a desktop PC sort of like this with a horizontal graphics card, they come crammed with packing materials, trying to keep that card from breaking itself off during transit. This makes sure your graphics card does not put any strain on your motherboard connections at all. All the weight is going straight down onto its own little secure PCIe extension right there, and I think that's a much smarter way to do it, which is why I do it in my system and why I like it here. I've also scrounged up a power cable now so I can actually hit the button and hopefully this thing will start lighting up. Nope. We'll try that one more time in a take too. I'm going to expose the silliness of the process here a little bit. We plugged it all in, we're ready to go. I did my bit to camera, pressed the button and nothing happened. You want to know why? Because somebody forgot to plug it into the wall back there. Professionals around here at MSI. So now if I press that button, there we go. The incredibly soft hum, which you can't possibly hear over the microphone, and everything's lighting up, spinning up. I'm not sure how well it's coming across on camera because we will have all these studio lights here, but you know, if I tip it down out of the way of the studio lights a bit, there you go. Beautiful. So, that is the MSI Infinite A gaming desktop computer. Once again, available in several configurations, i5, i7, everything from the GTX 1060 all the way through to the 1080, even the 1080 Ti, although again, 1080 Ti is going to have a different cooler design, which won't mesh quite as nicely with the design here, but I'm thinking you're willing to make that small sacrifice in order to get the aggressive gaming power out of things, so you can go all the way full on 4K gaming. But yeah, that is MSI Infinite A, officially my favourite off-the-shelf gaming PC. Thanks for watching, I'm Blunty, and I'll catch you next time.